Jacob's journey, faith, struggles, and transformation. Hello, welcome to our channel. Today, we are going to embark on a spiritual journey through the life of Jacob, one of the most fascinating characters in the Bible. His story is marked by faith, inner and outer struggles, divine promises, and powerful transformations. Jacob's life is not just an ancient account, but an inspiration for all of us, showing that, just like him, we are called to trust in God, persevere through difficulties, and allow divine transformation to guide us. Get ready to explore the deepest and most meaningful moments in Jacob's life and how these teachings can impact your spiritual walk. If you're ready for this journey, please give us a like, subscribe to the channel, and activate the bell so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos. Let's discover together what God has to teach us through Jacob's story. The life of Jacob, the son of Isaac and grandson of Abraham, is one of the richest and deepest accounts in Scripture, whose events not only shaped his own story but also the identity of an entire nation. His journey, marked by challenges, promises, and divine encounters, represents the spiritual journey of every human being. Jacob teaches us that, regardless of the circumstances, the inner and outer struggles we face in the pursuit of a greater purpose and redemption can become a path of growth and transformation. What God did in Jacob's life, he can also do in ours. Jacob's story is not just a narrative of the past, but a deep reflection on how faith, fear, courage, and transformation intertwine in the fabric of our spirituality and the process of becoming what God has planned for us. Jacob was born into a family blessed by God, with grand promises that his generations would be led by the divine hand. However, from birth, he already showed a cunning nature marked by a deep desire to obtain what was considered the birthright, meaning the blessing reserved for the firstborn. With his intelligence and craftiness, Jacob took the blessing that should have been his twin brother Esau's. He did this with a shrewd and, in some ways, deceitful strategy, tricking his blind father Isaac and claiming what God had promised to Esau. This episode, although it fulfilled God's promise that Jacob would be the leader of the family, also brought a series of painful consequences, fear, separation, and the beginning of a period of exile. Through this action, Jacob teaches us a harsh lesson about how many times we seek shortcuts to achieve what we desire, and upon obtaining what we wanted, we pay a high price for our choices. Jacob teaches us that, although God's blessings are unquestionable and irrevocable, they cannot be obtained by force. They are received with faith, patience, and a transformed character. God, in His mercy, allows us to go through difficulties and moments of confusion so that we can learn to trust in Him and develop a more humble and dependent character. When forced to flee to the land of Haran, Jacob found himself on a journey filled with uncertainties, marked by deep loneliness and fear. However, it was in this flight that he had a transformative and divine experience. One night, while resting and using a stone as a pillow, Jacob had a dream that would become a turning point in his life. He saw a ladder stretching from heaven to earth, with angels ascending and descending on it. This dream, known as Jacob's ladder, was not just an illustration of a divine encounter, but a profound symbol of the connection between heaven and earth, the divine and the human. The ladder represented direct communication between God and man, reminding Jacob, and us too, that God is not distant but accessible and near, even in our moments of greatest loneliness. This dream not only renewed God's promises to Jacob, but also gave him confidence to continue his journey, even in the uncertainties and challenges that would lie ahead. The meaning of the ladder goes beyond the vision of a simple dream. It symbolizes the steps of faith that we are all called to take, even when circumstances seem obscure. In our own spiritual walk, God calls us to trust that, even in moments of darkness, He always provides a way for us to draw closer to Him, as if each step was an act of obedience leading us closer to His presence. Upon arriving in Haran, Jacob faced not only a new beginning but also challenges that would test him deeply. There, he fell in love with Rachel, the daughter of Laban, and promised to work for 7 years to marry her. However, at the end of those 7 years, Laban, in an act of deceit, gave him his daughter Leah instead of Rachel. Jacob, who had deceived his own father, now experienced deception himself, and this confronted him with the reality that, often, our own mistakes return to teach us difficult lessons. The frustration and suffering Jacob experienced in this situation symbolized the times in our lives when things don't go as planned and our expectations are shattered. However, even in this moment of crisis and disappointment, God was working to shape him. He had to work another 7 years to finally marry Rachel, and during this time of continuous effort, Jacob not only learned about patience and perseverance, but also was shaped into the leader God had called him to be. The lesson we can take from this period of trial is that, often, times of waiting are not wasted, but moments of preparation and purification. Jacob's hard work and faithfulness teach us that true transformation and spiritual growth happen not in times of ease, but in difficult seasons when we are challenged to trust in God and stay committed to Him, regardless of the circumstances. While Jacob prospered in Haran, accumulating wealth and family, he also faced intense family conflicts and internal challenges. The rivalry between Rachel and Leah, his 2 wives, and the tensions within his own home reflect the deeper realities of life. External blessings do not guarantee internal peace. Jacob, despite prospering materially, still struggled with emotional and spiritual issues, especially regarding his relationships and identity. When God called him to return to his homeland, Jacob faced another difficult choice. He would have to confront his past and his failures, including the tense relationship with Esau, which was still marked by Jacob's betrayal. This return became a crucial moment of reflection, forgiveness, and reconciliation, symbolizing the times when we are called to confront what we have left behind and restore what was broken. Jacob's return teaches us that the process of spiritual transformation is not simply a change in direction, but a journey of healing and restoration. To achieve true peace and reconciliation, we often need to return to the places where we were hurt, confront our mistakes, and, with courage, seek restoration through forgiveness. Jacob's encounter with Esau, who initially feared him and prepared for confrontation, turned into a moment of great reconciliation. Instead of vengeance, Esau received him with forgiveness and tears, demonstrating the power of divine grace in restoring broken relationships. This moment of forgiveness was a clear manifestation of God's mercy, showing that, no matter what we have done in the past, true peace and reconciliation are possible when we trust in God's grace. This event challenges each of us to reflect on our own relationships and seek healing through forgiveness, knowing that, like Jacob, we can be transformed when we surrender to God's love and mercy. Jacob's life culminated in a deep recognition of God's faithfulness. Throughout his life, he saw God's promises fulfilled in his descendants, who became the 12 tribes of Israel. The nation of Israel, formed through Jacob's children, would be the chosen people to be a light to the nations. Looking back on his life, Jacob saw divine intervention in every key moment, from the beginning of his journey to the end, when he was called to bless his children and pass on spiritual leadership to the next generation. Jacob's story is a powerful lesson in perseverance in faith, spiritual growth, and transformation. We are challenged to seek God's blessing with faith and patience, to accept His transformations with humility, and to walk in obedience, confident that God will fulfill His promises in our lives just as He did in Jacob's. He teaches us that, even in adversity, God is working in and through us to reveal His divine purpose. And so we come to the end of another spiritual journey, reflecting on Jacob's life and the profound lessons his story offers us. As we have seen, Jacob's walk was filled with challenges, but also with transformative moments where God shaped him, guided him, and fulfilled his promises. This story teaches us that, even in the face of difficulties, we can trust in God's plan and allow Him to transform us for a greater purpose. Jacob's journey is without a doubt an inspiration for all of us, showing that faith, perseverance, and trust in God are the pillars that sustain our spiritual walk. If you were touched by this message, don't forget to like the video and share it with friends and family who may also be blessed by this reflection. I would love to know your thoughts, so please leave a comment below. If you haven't subscribed yet, take this opportunity to subscribe to the channel and activate the bell so you won't miss any of our messages and inspiring content. We thank you for your presence and look forward to the next video where we will continue exploring divine wisdom for our lives. May God bless you in every step of your journey.